Today I got the other dash pad pod cover for the Galaxie, and it doesn't fit any better. It's actually probably a little worse. And I've been forcing on it and pushing on it and working on it for a good half an hour. And yeah, I might be able to make it work, but yeah, the quality just isn't there. My advice, and this one came in a different box. This is the box it came in, and but yeah, I'm not happy. My recommendation is steer away from them. I'm gonna make this fit no matter what I have to do. If I have to cut it apart and open it up, I will. This is going on the car. First thing I'm thinking of doing is this. This is just cheap ABS plastic, and this needs to be pushed down on the dash tighter. So I'm thinking of getting my Dremel, cutting some of that foam out on the top. I tried to scrape it out, but it doesn't, and take some of this. You can see where they haphazardly ground it there and there. And it would have been nice if they had a dashboard, to fit it up on and make them right the first time, instead of making unusable garbage that you got to spend probably most of the day trying to make it fit. But anyway, I'm not gonna video fussing with it here, because this is gonna probably be an all-day event, and I'm gonna be very aggravated doing it too, because you shouldn't have to do that when you spend that kind of money. It should fit right on. So I've been working on this thing for a while. I dug out the foam out of those that they had foam in them, and just trying to compare everything to the original, and it's just not fitting. It fits worse than the other one I had, actually. Yeah, I mean, look at the gap on this one. You remember the gap on the other one. This one I can put the other one I could get my finger through from about there to there. This one I can get my whole hand through, almost the full length, and if I wasn't hitting stuff in there, I could get it all the way up to my knuckles easily. That's the pile of foam I pulled out with this long pair of needle nose pliers, but that's the pile I've pulled out of these, trying to get it to go down and fit better, and I'm just not having any luck. I've pulled all that out, and I can still stick my full hand in there, and it's like, it's just nuts. I see no reason why this thing shouldn't go on. I've been cutting and grinding, with my Dremel, cleaning stuff out, and just trying to make this thing. This was all full where this goes, like right there, that was all full of stuff, and this one was all full of stuff where that goes, and it doesn't even have these places to screw there. But it's not even close. But as you can see, it's not like it's shorter, but it certainly does not even come close to fitting. I got it to fit over here a little bit better by grinding that stuff out, but when you try and push that down to get this to line up, it lifts up the back and makes this opening larger back here. So I get it like that, and that's how big the opening is now. I mean, give you an idea, let me get the tape measure. We'll give that a quick measure to give you an idea how big the gap is on this poor quality part. So it's almost an inch. I'd say an honest 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, that's not acceptable. So this is kind of the conclusion I'm coming to on this dash pad, is the ends are what's made wrong on it. I'm going to stand that up right there. I've been trying to get a hold of Eckler since 1 o'clock this afternoon. Get a hold of their outstanding customer service. Anyway, I hold this up to this, and you can definitely see a significant difference. It's hard for me to hold the camera and show you at the same time. The width here and the width there, this is significantly wider. Whoops. Let me see if I can get this up here. Anyway, I don't know if it's going to show up in the video or not, but it's a good 1/4 inch. And then on the other side, let me get this thing turned over here. This is where it meets the padded dash. Let me get the original one turned over. And you can see how much larger that opening is. This part here is what I'm talking about than, whoops, than this one. And I think what I'm going to have to do is peel this off and cut this back and cut this back significantly, and then maybe it'll push on far enough, because that's what the deal is. It's not pushing on as far as this dash. This distance from here to here is identical on both pads. There's no reason I can see why this pad shouldn't fit. Now I did hog out all the stuff out of these, so they're nice and clean in there, not a bunch of foam and crud. And then where these screws go in right here, it was hitting here and it was hitting here on that one, so I cleaned them out, and it's getting closer. It actually starting to fit. And if I cut this back, that'll set right. I'm having to push this into to this pad to get it to sit down, and I'm not pushing very hard anymore since I ground out this stuff for that screw hole. So I think I'm gonna peel this back and peel this vinyl back. I mean, you know, what do I got to lose? The thing's garbage anyway. And so I think I'm going to try and do that to try and close up this massive gap. I've got it down to about a 1/2 inch by doing those two. You know, those two things where those screws go. So I think if I do that and do that, I might be able to get it to slide back. And if it slides back, it's going to go down as it goes back. And I can foam underneath this and build this up just a little bit if I need to, like so. And before I glue it. That's why I didn't glue this before I did the pad, because I thought, you know, there's a chance I have to put something under there to kind of lift it. I will, you know, a little bit of foam or something under there. I just want the dash to look okay. I don't know if this shows up here or not, but there's a big gap there, so I have plenty of room to hog some stuff out of here and out of there to try and slide this thing this way. I still haven't got outstanding customer service from Eckler's. They say they have outstanding customer service. Only 3 hours of on the phone with them, or not on the phone, on hold with them. I've got nowhere. So anyway, I'm gonna start peeling this vinyl off and start hogging it out, and I can just re-glue the vinyl. There is marks in this thing, you know, there's little dimples here. It's by no means perfect. I just, I can't tell you how disgusted I am with it. I called Eckler's and let them know that I thought that product, they shouldn't carry it. They're doing a disservice selling the product. I told them that. I told them I've been dealing with them since the early 80s, and I've had pretty good service with them. And when they sell something that's absolute garbage, they ought to stop selling it so they don't give themselves a bad reputation. I mean, you shouldn't sell garbage. But anyway, I could put my whole hand in between here and you'll see, but I'm getting it to where what I think I'm going to do, if I glue this down, there will be a little bit of a gap there, but what I think I'll do is I'll glue it here, and then I'll just put some foam between the pad and the dash and not glue that. Just like I say, glue it here. And the trim, once the windshield trim's on and everything, will kind of hold it in place too. That goes right about here. And then I can, you know, get this to where, and I got to trim this because this is part of the reason why it's not fitting. This is about twice the width of the original dash. So I'll cut it off on the inside there so you don't see where it's cut off. And I got this side fitting halfway decent, and I think we can make it work. I'll show you what I had to do. I had to peel this all open and take my Dremel and cut almost a ½ inch out of there. There's hard plastic in here, that ABS plastic right there. I don't know if it shows up in the... Anyway, I had to Dremel that out, and then the same with this side. I was just watching where everything was hitting, and this is all hitting the instrument, and I might have to grind a little bit out right in here, just right here, but I peeled this back and hogged out in there so that, because this is a lot thicker on this than the original padded dash, so I hogged some out of in there just so I can, you know, somewhat get this thing to fit. I think what's going to eventually happen is I'm going to send this to Just Dashes and have them redo it, put it back on and be done with it, and then I can put whatever I put in here, pull it out and re-glue this properly. Even while it's in the car, I can do that. Here you can see what I'm talking about here now, you know. So when that's on, see how that fastener, so it just doesn't, and if I put it out that way, it twists this, and it fits like that right there. That's the way it glues on. And so the only way I'm going to get that to fit is if I cut about that much of this off. So I'm probably going to be cutting a little more than a ¼ inch, maybe 7/16 or so of an inch off there. And like I say, I can just put some padding under that for now. We'll see. Look at all the stuff I'm getting on this. I'm going to have to blow it off with compressed air. This foam stuff's a mess. This is what I've been grinding it out with, is this little bit here on my Dremel, and it works pretty good. It hogs that plastic out. I also had to clean out all the crud out of these so it would go down over these. These were so full of foam that I couldn't even get it over these to begin with. So, you know, and then I still got to hope for the best with the holes, and maybe I won't even screw it down. Maybe I'll just stick it on there and wait until this one's back and then fasten it, because this is just like, they offered to take this back and give me a refund too, you know, I mean, but I'd like something on it, and so I think that's what it's going to be. And another thing, what I was going to do today, but the dash came, so I ended up working on that instead. I was going to go to the tire store and order some tires, and then when they come in, I'll pull these up. Well, I could pull them off and break them down, but it's turned to winter here. I mean, we've had single-digit nights and teens for highs for the day. I don't know what it is out right now. You know, I'm going to have to paint those wheels. So it's 22 right now. That's not too bad. It was 10 earlier today, but it's snowing a little bit. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to paint wheels. I suppose I could cover the Galaxie up like I did when I painted the dash and back the truck out and cover everything in the garage. It's just a lot of work. So I might wait to pull the wheels and break them down. But I wanted to kind of show you, these were the tires. My printer's ink needs to be changed. But those are the tires that I'm looking at putting on the car. They're a white wall. And it's originally, the car had 775 15s on it. It's got 205 70R 15s, which really looks silly on the car. They're kind of short and wide. They don't have a good stance at all. You got, you know, all this wheel, and then you got this narrow little tire. So what I did was I measured, well, that's 27 3/4 inches from tread to tread. I'll show you here. Let me turn some lights on here. basically from this part of the tire to that part. It's 27 3/4 inches. So this was the closest size I could find to that size that I need for the car. The 205 75s are not available in a white wall, so I have the option of 215 75s, 225 75s. I mean, you know, I'm looking at what's available in white walls, just making sure that everything's gonna fit. And like I say, I've been doing some modifications, and see there's a big gap up here, but I think the original one was the same way. And yeah, it's just, I think we'll make it work. And I might horse around with this a little bit more to just try and get a little better fit. But I wanted to put this on just to make sure that it was going to fit. Now I'm starting to get a little better fit. I took some the meat out in here of the ABS plastic that you know, this is just molded ABS plastic that they made, and obviously they didn't have a looks like I need to take a little out of right there because that's hitting this. So I'll do that, and then just a little right in here, and maybe that'll make that fit better. It comes out, I can get this pad off fairly easy, and then I'll just glue it back on. I'm just trying not to peel anything unless I have to, but yeah, I think that that might help just to clear there a little bit. This is the next day, and I think I made a piece to stick under there to kind of hold that up, and I'm just going to glue this down here, and that's it. And then in the future, if I redo this, I can glue that down, but this will all be glued over here. I'm going to glue it the same way Ford did. I'm just not going to glue anything from here to, probably from there to there, and I will glue this edge down here. So I'm going to start working on that. I don't think I'll be able to video and glue because I don't want to get glue all over my camera moving around or turning it on and off. This is probably going to take me a little while. So I'm going to glue up everything around here, and I'm going to wait to glue this, but I'm going to glue maybe this and this edge tomorrow. This is what I made to go here to keep that pad up, so there's no gap in the vinyl between the instrument panel pod, and it works pretty good. I can push down on it, and I beveled all the edges. I don't know how well it shows up in the video, but they are beveled, and hopefully that'll work. And then if I get the original pod redone, I can pull this out, glue the pad down, and put the original pod back on. I might just have to pull the glue up there to glue it, you know, to get it to smooth out, but that's no big deal. That's kind of where I'm at with this. I got to get the speaker grill in here and start slapping some glue on. I got it all glued up, so that's the way it's going to go in the car. Now the molding, when it goes on here, that'll push a little bit up here and give that a little bit more up in there just to make sure I don't. But I did glue it along this edge the full length, and I glued this little ear down here. I might need to re-glue that once I put that in the car because I'm sure I'm going to knock it silly, but it looks good enough. I think once that bezel's on there, I got to paint the chrome edges and stuff on it, so that might be my next little project, is to work on so I can paint the chrome on this. And hopefully this weekend I can reinstall this and the steering column, I'm hoping. And then we'll go from there, and maybe the chrome will be done. I'll call a chrome guy towards the end of the week, because if I can get that shift lever and install it on the column before I install it, that would be awesome. But I could always wait until next week to install the column. I just need to get the dash in. So anyway, when it comes right down to the dash, I'm okay with it. I think it'll look okay, and you know, I wouldn't, don't spend your money on one of these pads from Eckler's or wherever. You know, they're just garbage. This pad is all right. This pod cover is just garbage. You got to do a lot of work to get it to fit, but you know, it's better than nothing. It looks okay right now, and that will be fine when I put it together. So I have nothing bad to say about Eckler's. I mean, they were really nice to me. They offered to give me full refund including shipping, so nothing bad to say at them. I'll continue doing business with them. You know, it's just they probably never even see these dash pads. They're shipped directly from the manufacturer. You know, Max, probably all Eckler's, all of them use that same company, so they're just shipping them, drop shipping them, and you know, you just don't know what you're getting. They don't even know what you're getting, but you know, hopefully they will stop selling them if these companies that are selling these pads doing themselves a disservice, at least this part anyway. You know, they could go to get one of these assemblies out of the scrap yard. I mean, there's plenty of these cars in the junkyard still, and then that way they could, you know, make their stuff so it all fits good, and that would make life a lot nicer. But anyway, nothing bad to Eckler's. Just want to make that clear. Just don't buy the dash pad. Dash pad is garbage. But anyway, that's it for this video. I'm going to call it a day on this video and let the glue dry for a couple of days and then work on installing. So if you like my video, definitely hit the like button. If you want to see this dash back in the car, subscribe to my channel by hitting that 348 engine icon there, and thank you for watching my videos.